Hi, my name is Juvenalia De Brito, and I am a makeup artist from Angola. I'm here with all of you today to share a little bit about makeup as well as skincare. I will be sharing my everyday look and showing all of you how I achieved this makeup look that I'm wearing right now. But I will start with skincare because it's very important to take good care of your skin. Beautiful skin equals beautiful makeup. So I will be sharing what I use and how I apply the products on a daily basis to make sure that my skin is in top shape for makeup application. But first, I would like to give a huge thank you to Lego for inviting me to be a part of Grooming the Future Marketers Seminar 2016. And hopefully I will be there next year in person instead of through video. But nonetheless, this is a great opportunity. Thank you so much. And I hope that all of you enjoy what I have to share with you today. So let's get right to it. I always start by cleansing my face. I don't always use an exfoliating cleanser like the one I'm holding here by Clarins, but I do clean my face every day and every night before I go to bed. After that, I apply a toner. Pretty much what a toner does is your pores are all exposed and open after you're done cleansing, so a toner kind of calms your skin back down so that it prevents bacteria from entering into your exposed pores. After I'm done toning my skin, I moisturize it, and this is one of the most important steps. You want to make sure your skin is moisturized and hydrated, whether you have dry skin or oily skin like me. And this will also help to improve the elasticity of your skin. Another step that I take, especially during the summertime, is applying some sun protection. I don't know about any of you, but I definitely want to look young forever, so we must always protect ourselves from the damage that the sun can cause to our skin. Now I'm applying some eye cream. It's important to have a specific cream, a specific moisturizer for your eyes because the eyes are very sensitive, so some of the moisturizers and products that you can use on the rest of your face could be a little too harsh for the eyes. And then after that, I'm gonna go in with some lip balm just to moisturize my lips. Now on to the makeup. I'm gonna start by filling in my brows with an eyebrow pencil. This one is by L'Oreal. I prefer the pencils that have the pencil side on one end and then a spoolie on the opposite end. So I start by kind of brushing my brow hairs into place. I just follow the direction that they naturally want to go in. And then I start filling in with the pencil with some light strokes, filling in the gaps and defining the shape of my brows. After that, I go back in with the spoolie side to make sure that the product is evenly spread out and that it looks a little bit more natural. I would like to mention that the products that I am using are some of the ones that I prefer and that I own, but you don't have to use these exact same products. You can find whatever you have available to you. Most of them work just the same, especially the skincare as well. You just kind of have to work with products that complement your skin type. Now I'm going to carve out my brows with some concealer. This step is not always necessary, but if I have the time, I definitely like to go in to give it that freshly done look and to define them a little bit more. I use a concealer that is about 1 to 2 tones lighter than my skin tone and apply it with an angled brush. So what I do is I outline the bottom of my brows with the concealer, then I blend it down with that same brush without adding any more concealer, and finally I go in with my fingers to blend the rest of that out so that it looks semi-natural. We don't want harsh lines here. Usually I only outline the bottom of my brows, especially if this is for an everyday going to work kind of look. But some people do prefer outlining the top of the brows as well to define it even more. And my suggestion is, if you do want to outline the top of the brow as well, to use a shade that is a lot closer to your skin tone so that it doesn't look too harsh. Now I'm setting my brows with the brow gel. This one is by Benefit. So what the brow gel does is it helps keep your hairs in place. It also gives the illusion that you have more brow hairs than you actually do. And some brow gels are tinted like this one, so they give you a little bit of extra color as well. Now I'm applying my primer. This will help with the smoothness of my foundation application. It also acts as a barrier between my makeup and my skin because you don't really want foundation to seep into your skin because it can cause breakouts. I also use one that is geared towards oily skin, so feel free to use whatever primer works best for you. And this will also help with the longevity of your makeup. It will help your makeup and your foundation and everything else last all day long. Now it's time to correct. I have a few areas that have discoloration and just a few dark spots around my face. So I take an orange corrector to kind of neutralize those before I go in with my foundation. This isn't always necessary. If your foundation already covers all of your blemishes, then you don't need a corrector, but these are blemishes that I know my foundation will not conceal, so that is why I correct first. An orange corrector is used for dark spots, a yellow corrector is used for purple spots, a green corrector is used for red spots, and a purple corrector is used for yellow spots. And this, it kind of goes by the color wheel, so if you look at the opposite colors, those are the shades that will neutralize each other. Now on to foundation. I'm using my L'Oreal True Match and a Beauty Blender sponge, the best thing that was ever invented in makeup. And I'm making sure that it's damp before going in and applying my foundation with patting motions. As you can see, my foundation seems a little bit darker than my skin tone, but that's only the tone on my face. The rest of my body is much darker, so I do try to use a foundation that matches the rest of my body, especially my neck. But I will go in with concealer to brighten the look up, to bring a little bit more dimension back into my face. Also make sure to apply your foundation a little bit down your neck, onto your ears, and a little bit on your hairline as well, so that it is very smooth and seamless and you can't tell kind of where your foundation begins and ends. Now using the same Beauty Blender sponge and the concealer that we use to define our eyebrows, once again that's 1 to 2 shades lighter than our skin tone, I am highlighting the center points of my face. So pretty much anything that you highlight, you bring forward. And so I like to highlight under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, the center of my forehead, a little bit over the cupid's bow, and the chin. So these are the areas that the sun naturally highlights because they're the highest points on your face. And because the foundation kind of takes away all of our dimension, this will help bring it all back. I like to use the same beauty blender to blend out the concealer because it already has some of that foundation on it, so it helps to blend everything out to make sure that it's seamless and there are no harsh lines. Now it's time to set the face, and you can just get a powder and kind of brush it along your entire face, but I do prefer the method that they call cooking or baking, where you take some translucent powder and heavily apply it onto the areas where you applied your concealer. So that's what I'm doing now. I do have oily skin, as I mentioned, and especially on summer days, this is what helps keep my makeup from melting off. So once again, I'm applying on all the areas that we highlighted with the concealer. Now it's time to dust off the excess powder, and I will use it to kind of lightly set the rest of my face, the areas that we didn't initially apply the powder. And I'm using a fluffy brush, anyone will do. This is the MAC 109 brush. I absolutely adore this brush. I'm about to use it for a million more things in the rest of this video. But pretty much I'm just dusting everything off and blending it onto the rest of my face. This is around the time that my clients start to get worried, especially my first time clients, because they feel that their skin looks very powdery and very dry. But no worries, everything will come together in the end. Using that same brush, I'm now going to apply my blush, and I apply it using circular motions. As you can see here, I kind of focus the blush on the apples of my cheeks right below the line, the outer corner of my eye, and then blend it up towards the ear. After the initial application, I clean off my brush a little bit on a towel that I usually have around me, and then I go back into those areas just to make sure that the blush is not too harsh. Now we're gonna highlight using a powder highlighter. This is usually a crowd favorite, and we're gonna apply it on the areas that are the highest on our face. Pretty much the same areas that we highlighted with concealer, and as you can see, I'm using that same brush. So I'm applying it on the highest points of my cheekbones, down the bridge of the nose, on the cupid's bow, a little bit on the forehead, and the chin. And with whatever is left over on my brush, I just kind of lightly sweep it over my eyelids just to add a little bit of shimmer. Now it's time to apply mascara. I'm applying my Benefit Roller Lash, which is my absolute favorite, but there are many out there. All you gotta do is look and pick. I'm applying from the root to the tip of my lashes and kind of closing my eyes to help with the application and make sure that all of my lashes are evenly spread out. And I apply this to my top and bottom lashes. Just a little disclaimer, you absolutely do not need makeup. Obviously, nothing substitutes internal beauty, but this is for those who are kind of interested or want to learn a little bit more. These are some basic tips and tricks and the basic concept of makeup. So definitely keep that in mind. For my lips, my favorite for a day-to-day is a nude gloss. This one is by Maybelline, and I'm just taking a lip brush and applying this all over my lips. And finally, I'm applying my makeup setting spray. I apply a good amount because it not only helps my makeup last longer, but it also takes away all of that powderiness and makes everything look more natural. And yeah, that's it. So this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed what I had to share. If any of you have any questions, please ask Lebo for my information. Any questions about skincare or makeup, just let me know. I will be completely available. Thank you so much once again, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the Grooming the Future Marketer Seminar 2016.